Radio Television.
Well, hello there, I am Dr. Necrox, mad scientist here at the Mad Robot Gallery Theatre. Welcome to our show. I hope you enjoy tonight's feature film. Now the master awaits you, please join him in the main hall. Ta-ta for now.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Ripper Radio TV Mad Robot Gallery Theater. I am your host, the Necromancer, as always, here at Mad Robot Gallery Theater, Mad Ripper Radio Podcast on the radio station, and of course, our Ripper Radio television video show on Fridays. Tonight we feature Battle Beyond the Sun, originally released in 1959 in the USSR, and rights to bought by Roger Corman and then released in the United States in 1962. A little sci-fi action film for you. Also, we have Radar Men on the Moon, our next installment of our serial short film movie series. And of course, our music block of horror rock and maybe some horror punk videos coming up. I have a good show. So let's go ahead and get this thing started with some info and back history on Battle Beyond the Sun with our movie historian, Sci. So take it away, Sci, and then I'll be back for our intermission blank here for the Mad Robot Gallery Theater. Enjoy.
Battle Beyond the Sun is the English-dubbed and re-edited US version of Nebo Soviet, a 1959 Soviet science fiction film directed by Mikhail Karekov and Khan Kozin. It tells of the space race of two future nations competing to become the first to land a spacecraft on the planet Mars. Roger Corman acquired the film for US distribution and hired a young film school student named Francis Ford Coppola to Americanize it. In addition to preparing a dubbing script free of anti-American propaganda and all references to the USSR, and supervising the dubbing, Coppola slightly re-edited the footage, eliminated the framing daydream sequences, and even saw to it that a pastel rhombus shape was matted in on a shot-by-shot basis, to cover the Cyrillic letters CCCP, USSR, which adorned the space station and Soviet rocket ships. Coppola also had filmed a few shots of two space monsters fighting and cut them into the Soviet material. According to Jack Hill, who worked on the new version, it was his first paid job for Roger Corman. Coppola's idea was that one monster would look like a penis and the other a vagina. The new monster scenes were shot on a soundstage in Hollywood. Hill and Coppola also shot some footage of the Rose Parade at Pasadena. So there you have it. Now let's get the show rolling with our film short, Radar Men from the Moon, and the first reel of tonight's movie Battle Beyond the Sun. Enjoy.
we'll meet them on the road?
Got a good chance to.
Here's the payroll. We found it right where it was thrown.
Splendid. Now we can...
Reading calling crowd. Reading calling crowd.
Yes, Your Excellency. I was just about to call you to report that we are about to put our ray gun into operation again.
I have another mission for you first. Do you have an atomic bomb strong enough to start a volcanic eruption in the Mount Alta crater?
Yes, but an eruption in that mountainous area would do very little damage.
On the contrary, it will do a great deal of damage. The present atmospheric conditions on Earth indicate that the eruption would cause torrential rains, and the resulting floods should seriously disrupt transportation and defense measures.
An excellent idea. We shall carry it out at once.
Very well. Then start an intensified campaign with the ray gun. Earth's defenses must be completely broken down before we can risk an invasion from the moon.
Yes, Your Excellency. You've heard the orders? Charter a plane and drop one of our atomic bombs into the Alta crater. Nature will do the rest.
Okay. When do we do it?
At once. I will get you the bomb.
There it goes.
If the moon men did start that eruption, they certainly got results.
Well, somebody must have started it. That volcano's been dead for years. Took quite a blast to get it going again. An atomic bomb dropped from a plane would seem to be the only answer.
You know, Commando Cody thinks that maybe...
How'd you make out? I think we're on the right track. The second airport I checked had chartered the plane on the day of the eruption to two men, answering the description of Graber and his pal.
Then we're right. They're the ones who bombed the volcano.
Looks like it.
Yes, but that doesn't help us catch them. Couldn't you get a line on them?
The names and addresses they gave were phony, but I did get one break. The airport manager borrowed these matches from Graber and forgot to give them back.
Al's Cafe. That might do us some good.
It at least means they've been there. And if we're lucky, they might be regular customers. So let's go and look the joint over.
Right.
If we hear anything, Joel, we'll give you a call.
Yeah, I know the guys you mean. They come in here pretty often, but I don't know their names or anything about them.
Well, if they show up, I wish you'd call me.
Oh, sure. I sure will, Mr. Cody.
Thanks.
Drop her, I'll drill him. You or the cops try to follow us, I'll give it to them quick.
They took your pal, Mr. Cody. You gonna call the cops?
I don't dare to. They'd kill him sure.
Never find him down there.
You're right. And as soon as he can get to a phone, he'll have the cops on our trail. The road to Clark Mountain is just up ahead. We'll hide out there until Krog can send us another car. Calling Krog. Calling Krog.
Come in, Graver.
We just had a run-in with Cody again. Our car is hot. We'll have to have another one.
Where are you?
We're heading up to Clark Mountain. We'll stop before we get to the top and wait there.
Very well, I'll have another car out there as soon as possible.
What do you think they'll do to him?
Oh, it's hard to tell. They'll certainly hold him until they pick... Cody Laboratory. Ted, where are you?
In a gas station on Highway 17. I jumped out of the car and gave them the slip.
Good work. Now we can go after them. Where are they heading?
They were going up the Clark Mountain Road.
I'll use the rocket suit and try to find them.
Okay, don't worry about me. I'll come a ride back to town.
Phone the police and tell them to block the highway on the other side of the mountain.
Right. Police headquarters.
Hey, Daly. Quit worrying. Car can't get here for a while yet.
Cody.
Time to get out of here. Follow me. Keep low. When Cody gets here, give yourself up. Try not to get too close to him.
But look,
Don't argue. Do what I tell you.
Don't move. Drop your gun. Where's Graber?
In the fear-ridden years following the Great Atomic War, the Earth and its people had been reduced to a state of death and destruction. Those who had survived the tragedy began building anew with a hope for the future. But still the world remained divided. This time, man-made boundaries stretched beyond mere countries, forcing the isolated separation of one vast hemisphere from another. These two conflicting powers became known as the North Hemis and the South Hemis. Heading South Hemis's top security project, Red Planet, was Dr. Albert Gordon. Working with him was his wife, Dr. Ruth Gordon. They and a carefully selected team of scientists had labored in secret for 5 years on the project which hoped to put the first man on the planet Mars. Now, just days before the launching, the first public information releases were being given to certain journalists who would spread the story to the world if the project were a success. If it met with failure, neither the citizens of South Hemis nor their rivals in the Northern Hemisphere would know that it had even been tried. Astronaut Craig Matthews was in charge of briefing a government journalist on the details. Information had been leaked from North Hemis that their scientists were also trying to reach Mars, and the pressures were building in both governments to make sure that their men landed on the planet first. Man-carrying space stations had been circling the Earth for several years, and trips to and from the stations were not unusual. The first step in Project Red Planet was to transport the personnel in a normal manner to a specially equipped station. The second phase would be the actual launching from this artificial planet, where the spacecraft would no longer be subjected to the Earth's gravitational pull.
Ground control will now take command for launching. Blastoff is set for 02100. All personnel must be at their stations.
You've worked so hard. We've come so far.
Just keep the faith and courage you've always shown.
Dr. Gordon, forgive the intrusion. As personal representative of the President, I want to extend best wishes for the success of Project Red Planet from all the people of South Hemis.
Thank you.
We're approaching second unit countdown.
Our hopes for the future go with you.
All visitors must leave the launching area. Passengers will board immediately.
Take good care of her, Craig. Now you see that he does.
Well, I promise not to let her out of my atmosphere.
Ah, he's always joking.
You know, this flight to the space station could become just a routine stopover.
An interplanet bus stop.
I hope your mother approves of me. Do you? I think she does.
Of course.
Nancy, have you lost your confidence?
Don't be silly.
Countdown entering stage red. All personnel stand ready. Synchronized units now being switched over to master control.
This is control. Attention personnel. Project Red Planet, prepare for flight countdown. Begin your lane reports.
First stage rockets ready. Main rocket stage ready. Fuel ready. Stabilization center ready. Power ready. Air conditioning ready. Radar ready. Guidance ready.
Airlanes ready for takeoff.
Countdown red. Continue at 34. Attention flight personnel. Loading elevators are now being withdrawn. Countdown continues at 20. All stations prepare for 0 red. Countdown continues at 10. Zero red, -5.
Project Red Planet. All units clear. Switch over to standby.
on flight deck. Stand by to receive flight number 87 from Earth.
Have all preparations been completed?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, Dr. Gordon.
It's good to see you, Commander.
Hello, Paul.
Commander Daniels?
Right this way, gentlemen. My men will take care of your crew.
Oh! Hey! Astronaut Johnson just blasted off from Mars. Call us when you get there. I will if I can find a telephone. Don't reverse the charges.
Actually, we had the Mercury ready for you 2 days ahead of schedule.
We've gained so much by assembling the ship here. Not just the fuel and added rocket power, but we've been spared the atmospheric strain against the ship.
Which could well mean the difference.
Without a doubt.
Turn on Spaceship Mercury. It's not going to be easy, you know, staying behind.
Now look, you were the one who said this flight wasn't going to be a spaceman's holiday. So just consider yourself as being lucky.
I hope you're wrong.
I think he really means you're more important here. Any changes?
Not so far. Here are the micronic charts. The solar reports continue to verify our last calculations. Couldn't ask for better conditions.
How long will it last?
An estimated 5 or 6 weeks. Beyond that, we'd be taking a chance.
If all continues as planned, we shouldn't have any problems.
None whatsoever.
Commander, we are receiving an encoded television wave.
You can screen it for us here.
Yes, sir.
It couldn't be coming from one of our ships. All flights have been diverted, with the project in effect.
We'll find out soon enough.
We request your aid.
Identify yourself and state the nature of your request.
This is Captain Torrance and Dr. Martin aboard the ship Typhoon from North Hemis. We request permission to land for emergency repairs. I've informed our base.
You have permission. We'll prepare for your ship to land.
Thank you. We'll trouble you as little as possible.
I'll switch you to control.
Attention, landing personnel on flight deck. Attention, stand by to receive unassisted landing. Repeat, stand by to receive unassisted landing.
It's a North Hemis ship.
Of course, you realize we must make our own repairs. I want you to know how much we appreciate your assistance. If we could work this way, North and South combined, think of it. The advantages.
I agree with that. To its eventuality, Captain Torrance.
Thank you.
If the attitudes of our governments could somehow be changed.
You know how politicians work. Always years behind science.
What brought you into our radius?
It was unintentional, I assure you. We were flight testing a new synergic curve pattern to lessen fuel consumption after orbit.
Well, we've also been working on that.
Oh, if only we were allowed to exchange data. There, politics instead of science again. Still, I believe we should try to instigate a new research exchange.
We've all thought that for a long time.
Maybe if we took the initial step. Mars is our immediate project.
Mars?
Now that you know. Spaceship Mercury. Have a look at it.
This is the culmination of all our research.
How close are you to its completion?
Well, the ship itself has been ready for quite some time. We've just been waiting for the proper solar conditions.
And your time plan?
Yes, how soon?
Countdown has already been set for tomorrow. If there are no drastic solar changes, we'll proceed with the plan.
Any questions?
May I ask you?
We've already imposed enough. The hour is growing late. Good luck on your flight tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good night, Doctor. Until later.
Good night.
Good night.
We had no indication of this. It may leave us no alternative.
Don't take too much upon yourself. Yes?
Dr. Martin.
Come in.
I hope you don't mind this intrusion.
No, not at all. Be seated.
Thank you. After all these years, we can finally talk.
A discussion I've looked forward to. I've long admired your writings.
That's an honor coming from you. Dr. Martin, I've observed your ship.
Anything unusual?
It's designed for deep probe, very similar to our Mercury. What is the Typhoon's flight range?
As one scientist to another, I'd like to discuss the entire matter. But you must realize that it's entirely out of the question.
Captain, do not attempt the flight. Regardless of what you believe, we cannot take any unnecessary risks.
General, I can't accept defeat.
If your ship is malfunctioning, you'd be merely throwing your life away, and with it the entire project. I understand your determination, but I must order you to return to the base.
We cannot turn back now.
Captain Torrance! Captain Torrance!
Then, we've reached an impasse. I can only express my regrets.
No more so than I, Dr. Gordon.
I understand.
Dr. Gordon.
Good night. Good night.
It's decided. We leave at once.
For North Hemisphere?
No, for Mars. I think our friends will be somewhat surprised.
Captain, that's not our main concern at this time. Our repairs may not hold up.
I went over the entire system, and it proved out perfect. You checked it? Remember, my friend, what this could mean.
I realize the situation completely. But do you?
Good evening, Paul. We came to work on our ship. Need any help? Not at the moment. Maybe tomorrow.
personnel clear the flight deck without delay.
What was the reason for doing that?
Someone might get hurt in the blast-off.
Too late now. Full power.
Full power.
Someone's been hurt. There he is. It's Paul Clinton. Let's get him inside. Is he badly hurt? I can't tell.
Flight pattern of the Typhoon is directed for Mars.
They weren't ready.
You're so right, but they were obsessed. How are you feeling?
Not too bad. Just shaken. I'll be fine by flight time.
Paul.
Doctor, you wouldn't replace me now. Not at this point.
I have no choice.
Nancy, tell him I'm all right.
The X-rays reveal a minor concussion has resulted. I'm sorry, Paul.
We can't take the chance, Paul. Craig will replace you.
Watch your step. Over here, Nancy.
Craig, I'm so happy Dr. Gordon chose you for the first flight.
Mars, Nancy, think of it.
I am.
Before you know it, I'll be back with you in South Hellas.
Craig. Please don't let me act like a little girl now.
You won't, I'm sure.
Final call.
A medallion with our names on it. Pin it on the flag you place on Mars.
I will. Begin our relay.
Yes, Doctor.
This is Earth Control, calling Project Red Planet. Stand by to checkpoint communication relay.
Relay communications in effect.
Control ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
Attention. Countdown red.
Recline. Switch to auto. Begin our relay. Temperature reading?
0.934, rising.
That checks.
Mm-hmm. Say, what is this thing? Good luck charm?
Something like that.
Or pocket money for Mars?
It's a medallion for history. So what is that? An asteroid?
No.
What's so interesting?
I think it's an old friend of yours. Come here and see for yourself.
To discover a satellite. That was my first dream.
We'll see you on the way back.
It's incredible. Remaining in orbit so long, huh?
It opened the way to outer space.
That's final, General. Signing off. If South Hemis were to get to Mars before we did, but they won't. Our ship's perfect. Even the General admitted. Our Hemis might have suffered for it.
Something's wrong. Our course is changing.
It couldn't be. Our angle is perfect.
Can't you understand? I said it was changing. It won't hold.
Could be wrong. Check it again.
I have, twice. Being pulled away by a powerful magnetic field. It's the sun.
The directional rockets. Won't they correct it?
They might if we fired all of them.
We've no choice. Fire them.
I intend to. Just hope it's enough. Get ready.
Positions. Recline.
Let's monitor Earth.
Yes?
And continue density
That's right.
reports. Stand ready for checkpoint on third cycle. Spaceship Mercury passing through nearest proximity of Sun's periphery. Transmit your readings at 30-second intervals. Before I return to unified control, I want you to know that our latest figures coincide with the reports from the space station, and the first flight to Mars continues in perfect trajectory.
There it is, Craig.
Mars.
What a magnificent sight.
It looks like it's just waiting for us. A distress signal. How could that be? Unless...
Emergency. Spaceship Typhoon calling. Emergency. We are being pulled into the sun. Our auxiliary rockets lack the power to hold. I repeat, we are being drawn into the sun. No power to hold.
The magnetic radius.
Is there anything we can do?
Check position.
Within radius .14. Could we possibly get to them?
We have the power.
I realize that, but what about the fuel?
Course on Typhoon.
Yes, sir.
2 lives are at stake, and we can save them.
But the project?
The project is for man.
You won't change your decision, sir?
We can't. Ready? Recline. Prepare for retro.
This is our last signal. Our rocket power has failed to withstand the sun.
Has contact been made? It's meteors being fired from the sun's heat. The pole. Prepare yourself to resist the pole.
We have failed.
Our eagerness failed us. We needed more time for preparation.
No more.
Calling Typhoon. Calling Typhoon. This is Spaceship Mercury. Can you hear us?
This is Radio Typhoon. Listen carefully. It's too late to help us now. For your own safety, don't even try.
Continue on your course.
You see, they want to spare us.
Radiation up. It's hopeless. I don't blame you. I wanted it too.
Don't torture yourself. It's all over.
Attention, all personnel, Project Red Planet. Report to the main control room immediately. Attention, all personnel, Project Red Planet. Report to the main control room immediately. All stations are red alert. I repeat, all stations are red alert.
Mercury?
Yes.
What's the other object?
We're not positive yet. It created a change of course. We're waiting now for some word.
Speed set. Lock control. Get ready.
I'm all set. Hatch open.
Be careful of your weight balance.
I checked the pressure.
Remember,
Yes?
you will have only a matter of minutes to effect the transfer.
I'll make it. Just hold her steady. Captain! Pick him up. I think we have only a few more minutes. It'll be all right. Just try not to relax, okay? Now let's get this thing off. There. Now how do you feel, huh? Better? Now let me help you, Dr. Martin.
Craig, the figures were right.
Could we make it back to Earth?
We've consumed too much of the fuel. But the chart doesn't show the terrain.
But we have to land there.
Listen, Craig.
Yes?
Emergency fuel must come by rocket from South Hemis.
What could have gone wrong? Not even a signal.
Could it be ionosphere blackout?
I doubt it. But perhaps if we...
Sir, from Spaceship Mercury.
At last, some word.
We lost contact after receiving the message.
Our fuel supply is exhausted. Landing on Mars is no longer possible. We'll attempt to land on Angkor, which is in the Martian orbit. If we're successful, we'll require a fuel rocket.
It's time for my favorite part of every Mad Robot Gallery Theater. It's time for our horror rock videos. First up this week we have Frank X with the Unreality Show. And then we got a few more to follow. And I'll be back after this music block here on Mad Robot Gallery Theater. So take it away, Frank X.
A smile is worth 100 frowns.
Thank you.
You're not scary.
Where you will find the world's most
rock on and bang your head to Ripper Radio.
Ravenous, 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 ravenous. Everybody smile and wave like idiots.
Yay! Alright, that was Demon Boy with Ravenous. Before that we had Over the Under with the Wolfman, The Brains with The Witch, and we started that block of music off with Frank X and the Unreality Show. It's time to get back to our featured film this evening with Battle Beyond the Sun. So take it away with our next reel of tonight's motion picture. Enjoy.
Nothing over here.
I finished checking over the ship, Doctor.
Any damage?
Everything appears in order.
Then we can leave if we get the fuel.
Probably the rocket is already on the way.
Come on, get ready. We'll have to set up the guidance antenna to receive the fuel rocket.
Come in, Dr. Gordon.
Commander, the fuel rocket launching has been completed.
We can rescue them. If their guidance antenna can land the fuel rocket.
Then the outcome is in their hands.
Could it prevent you from landing the fuel rocket, Doctor?
Yes, but I believe the condition is diminishing with the planet's rotation around Mars. Look. Does absorb the sun's rays.
Then life must exist there.
In all probability.
Just think. A new world is almost within our grasp. Imagine the discoveries we could make. And we almost got there. If you hadn't sacrificed for us, you might have attained your goal.
A life has more value than any goal that man can strive for. Let's relax and celebrate. We have two reasons. Craig's forthcoming marriage to the nicest girl I know, and the rocket bringing fuel. Success to both. Success to both.
It's strange. Any other time, a fuel rocket couldn't compare with Nancy. But now, I'm not so sure.
Subdue the universe, but woman will always subdue man. Now, to business. The guidance antenna is still directing the rocket. It should be in our landing range presently. Let's get ready to receive it.
Don't touch that remote. We will be right back after this. Tired of that old t-shirt that just worn out? Want something that'll put the fright back in your fashion? Well, make your way over to the Ripper Gear store. Get you a new hoodie, shirt, tank top, and more. Put the freight back in your life and in your fashion. That's official RipperGear.storeandme.com. Official RipperGear.storeandme.com. Wear a shirt that's worthy of the underworld today via Ripper Gear. Horns up, as always. Buy that shirt today. Ripper Radio. Ripper Radio Television.
Oh, there you are. You are watching Mad Robot Gallery Theatre here on Ripper Radio Television. Now let's get back for tonight's movie because I've got some more haunting to do. You enjoy the movie, cheerio.
The angle of entry is perfect. Switch to automatic landing control. It should indicate reversal stage. Does your reading check?
Yes.
Members of the Space Agency, our observatory reports that the pilotless fuel rocket has crashed on Angkor. Everything possible is being done to establish further contact with our astronauts. As soon as we have any word, you will be notified. Thank you.
Craig, you haven't given up hope, have you? No. We're alive, and that's what's important. You're right. The transmitter's strong enough, the signal should be received. It will be. Seldom have I seen a man more ingenious than Dr. Gordon.
Any sign at all that the interference will decrease?
No, sir, not yet.
Have you tried every wavelength?
Yes.
The distance and time element, everything checks out. I know I could make it.
Report from flight station. We are still unable to make contact. A piloted fuel rocket is our last course of action. I strongly recommend Paul Clinton as the man best qualified to undertake the flight.
This is not an easy decision for me to make. Piloted rocket ship still requires additional testing. The commander could very well be right, but still, If there is some way to be certain that our men are still alive, I'll leave the decision to you, Paul.
There's no other way. I have to go.
Mercury. Calling Earth. I'll keep trying. Calling Earth.
Dr. Gordon! Dr. Gordon, look! Out there!
Craig, let's go.
Yes, sir. It's Paul Clinton. Doctor, the creatures. One of our fuel rockets.
Paul? What creatures?
I know they're out there. How else do you explain the condition of Paul's body?
We may never know the answer. But he gave his life so that we might go on living. That we will always know.
We'll be taking off shortly. For Earth.
Disembarking at ramp 7.
Mother Matthews! Mother Matthews, over here!
Craig will be here shortly. He's a hero. I'm just so excited. Thank you, thank you. Wonderful. Oh, I can hardly believe it. Oh, you're so very kind, children. Oh, Nancy, I'm so thrilled. This is my aunt. Oh, I've never been so happy and proud. Oh, I'm just too excited even to speak.
Attention! Here is the latest bulletin on the spaceship Mercury. Landing will take place within the next several minutes. We are standing by to give you a detailed description of this historic event.
Just thinking about you made me know we'd come back.
I had faith.
You're a wonderful woman.
I love you.
Although the first attempt by man to reach Mars had met with failure, a greater insight to the real problems of mankind had been achieved. The way was now open for both sides to begin working together in peace. And out of their combined knowledge and effort, all men would come to know a better world in which to live. And one day, perhaps, the entire universe.
Alright, that concludes this edition of the Mad Robot Gallery Theater for another week. Make sure you tune in next time for our feature from 1965 Italian horror film Nightmare Castle. And of course another edition of the Radar Man in the Moon, and of course some more horror rock and horror punk videos for your enjoyment. As we do every week here on the Mad Robot Gallery Theater. So until next time, horns up, rock on, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.